Today's video is sponsored by CuriosityStream. Get access to my streaming service Nebula when you sign up for CuriosityStream using the link in the description. Today we've got a headphone that's definitely not new, but it is new to me. It's been a long time since I reached for a set of closed back headphones, but when I saw these, I absolutely fell in love, and I had to know if the sound matched the looks. You ready? Let's go! So the Meze 99 comes in a couple different versions. The Classics at $309 with walnut and gold, which we've got here today, and a noir version at $199, which is black and has like a more industrial feel. The difference in price comes mainly from the materials used, as the walnut version here are actual wood cups. They could have some acoustic differences as well due to cup material, but I don't have the noirs on hand to demo. Full disclosure, these were sent out by Meze for review. I wasn't otherwise compensated in any way. They didn't get to hear or see any aspect of this video before you did, and it didn't affect anything I have to say about them, which is especially important to say today because I really like these. For specs, you got 40mm drivers, impedance of 32 ohms with sensitivity at 103 dB. So these are very drivable with just about anything. So I wouldn't say they need an amp, but there is a perceivable benefit to using one. Inside the box, you'll get a nice hard case with a hang loop and a little zippered soft cylinder that has all your cables and adapters. Cables are thin, braided, Kevlar, really flexible. I like these a lot. One is 3 meters for studio or home. The other's 1.2 meters with like a mic and inline controls. That combined with the closed back design make these a really nice option for commuter or city phones. You'll also find an airline adapter and a 1/4 inch or 6.3mm jack as well. They also offer a separate 2.5mm balanced cable, which we'll talk about here in a bit. The cable ends are split into single 3.5mm. They're labeled left and right. Oddly, the cable determines the left and the right, so you don't have to fiddle with which side goes where. I really like that. The build quality and physical details here are exquisite. These, like Bare Dynamic stuff, are fully serviceable, so it's all hardware. There's no glue found anywhere here, and you can get replacement parts. The headband assembly here is PU leather. It's really wide, comfortable, and it has to fit a wide range of head sizes because I've got a pretty big head and these still fit great. The frame itself is either spring steel or aluminum. I can't tell which, but they're very strong. The cups just move on like a little swivel assembly on the end here, so they're not gonna rotate, but they're still really comfortable if you wear them around your neck. That's really helped by the fact that they only weigh in at around 270 grams with the cable. For context, my DT 1990s tip the scales at about 400 grams. So I have no trouble with fatigue here at all, neither in comfort nor heat buildup. These are all day wear for me, no problem. Pads themselves are oval shaped and PU leather as well, and they actually come in 2 different sizes, which I wish we saw more often. The ones you get included are large and they measure roughly 50 by 64 millimeters. Small is available for aftermarket at 45.5 by 58.5 millimeters. Pad swap is a breeze here as well. You just follow this little seam around the outside edge. Now, I do have pretty large ears, so even in the large pads, my ears make contact top and bottom. The other thing you really want to be aware of is that these pads are shallow, so the outside edge of your ear will definitely make contact with that driver cover if that's something that bothers you. Now, it's been a while since I've used a closed back headphone in any other form other than like a wireless gaming headset, so the first thing I noticed with these was bass. This headphone immediately evokes adjectives like powerful, fun, energetic, fast. This is not an analytic or a neutral headphone if that's what you go for. The bass here is full, warm, and rich. On a solid state amp, it's just right on the line for me before it gets to be boomy. It's as much as you'd want without having to start making noticeable sacrifices in other areas to get it. Tested on 4 different tube amp setups, it crosses that line. I'm gonna say these are naturally too warm to use with tubes. For sub bass, you get flashes, like moments where it's really impressive, but it's not anything that happens continually, and I probably wouldn't reach for these specifically for that aspect. Mid-range is kind of flat. Vocals, whether male or female, are really comfortable in the mix, not necessarily front and center, but slightly recessed. These are not detail monsters. They're not the Sundara or the HD 560s. There's just a relaxed softness to the mids here for me. Highs are funny with these because to me, they become more or less pronounced depending on volume level. The whole character, like the whole tonal balance of this headphone kind of shifts depending on your volume level. There's definitely a sweet spot that luckily for me skews towards most balanced when it's about 3/4 of full volume. Higher than that and the highs start to get hot. They dominate the experience in a way that's not comfortable for me. Sibilance starts to creep in, feels off balance. Imaging and soundstage are not necessarily the stars of the show here. I have pretty limited expectations for soundstage when it comes to closed backs. It's the primary reason I almost always reach for open back headphones. The soundstage is pretty constricted. It's exactly what I expect when I reach for a closed back headphone, and there are other closed back headphones out there that do a better job at this. Imaging's kind of the same thing here. In a casual listening session, it's rare that something like really jumps out at you. In gaming, I didn't have any issue with directional cues, but that prominent bass and that middle of the road imaging, there are certainly other phones I'd reach for competitive FPS. Casual gaming is great. I had no trouble at all driving these with a PS5 controller, and that bass focus on these was really fun here because like in God of War, you could not just hear, you could feel Kratos talking. All right, let's talk about this balanced cable add-on here. Now, I normally don't put a lot of stock in balance mode, but if you have balanced gear, wow. The cable is short, it's tangly and stubborn, but wow, the improved tonal balancing and clarity is honestly night and day. It takes those potentially rough edges like that encroaching low end or those borderline too hot highs, smooths out the entire experience and adds like a level of polish to the clarity. Vocals, like female vocals like Katie Crutchfield, soaring vocal. I seldom recommend accessories, but if you have the balanced gear to support it, the asking price of $49.99 for the balanced cable is worth it. Super worth it. At $309 US, you're definitely paying for the premium materials and the look versus the Noir. At $199, these are a no-brainer recommend for me. I would buy these as a gift for my music lover friends. At $309, I'd really encourage you to watch or read a few more reviews, do your homework, really go back and think about how I described that audio experience, and think about how you like to enjoy your music to make sure they're gonna hit the right notes for you. They definitely do for me, but I don't feel comfortable recommending these for everyone. I'm always fascinated with audio and peripherals because how we interact with our machines is such a personal choice. Videos that are more broad or wide in scope don't have a tendency to perform very well for me on YouTube, which is a shame because there's a lot of areas about peripheral interaction that I'd like to dive a little deeper into. Thanks to the support of CuriosityStream, a subscription streaming service with thousands of documentaries and nonfiction features, I can. And because YouTube tends to favor light content or content that's optimized a certain way, you can now find all my videos ad-free on Nebula, a Streamy Award-winning nominated video platform built by and for amazing independent content creators like Thomas Frank, Renee Ritchie, and the stream professor himself, Epos Fox. We're building Nebula because we want a place for creators to try out new content ideas and extended cuts that might not work on YouTube, especially experimental stuff or stuff that's just too far outside of our usual content to get picked up and recommended by the algorithm. CuriosityStream loves independent creators and wanted to partner up. So if you sign up at curiositystream.com/badseedtech, you'll be able to get CuriosityStream for 26% off or $14.79 per year, and you'll get to enjoy Nebula as well, totally free. By signing up for CuriosityStream, you'll get access to thousands of documentaries like this one called The Secret Rules of Modern Living, Algorithms, that dives into the numerous ways algorithms touch our lives every day, sometimes without us even realizing. Plus, you'll be helping not just me, but the entire educational community as we work together to create content that goes a little deeper than should you buy these headphones. Big thanks to CuriosityStream for sponsoring today, and thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Overall, I'm going to class this as a high-end, fun headphone. They're not built for analytic listening, but really enjoyable listening. There's not one thing that they do insanely well. Like if you break down each individual metric, I can point to a different headphone that does that better than these. But what these have going for them, something I seldom see in the higher price tiers, is that these are really nice well-rounders. Like I probably wouldn't reach for them for mixing or like the sweatiest Call of Duty matches, but I find myself going back to these regularly for a lot of different applications. Passive noise isolation, being flexible and easy to drive, and accessories that support portability really put these over the top for me. The Meze 99 has earned a coveted permanent spot on my desk as my go-to closed-back headphones, and have for months now. As always, links down in the description if you want to get your hands on a pair of these. Any questions, hit me in the comments. And that's it for this time. I'm Brian P. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and until next time, stay up.